All right, welcome back everybody. I know it's been a little while. The last one I put out was a Bach piece with some tab. Hopefully you've had a chance to take a look at that. This week we're going to be doing something very similar. It's going to be another Bach piece. This is Bach in G minor. It's going to be all the tab. Now this piece, it's one of my favorites. It's an awesome piece. I think there's one video on YouTube. It's a guy, he has a Guitarist shirt on and he's jamming out to this piece, Bach G minor. Does a great job with it. I think he's playing a Les Paul. But I wanted to get this video out because it's a great piece. Now this piece is a little fast and there's a lot of alternate picking in that. Now I bring it up because what we're going to be looking at this week, if you're not familiar with alternate picking, this one's definitely going to be challenging for you. Great piece to learn on, but it's definitely going to be challenging. But with that being said, in order to just get everybody kind of familiar, I'm going to put a link up here to one of my favorite videos on YouTube that is a performance of this piece. It's in piano, but you'll still hear it. Now with YouTube, this link up here can be a little sketchy sometimes, so I'll also leave a link down in the comments below or down in the description below. But with that being said, there are a few symbols, even though we're doing tabs, everything is in tabs, that you're going to need to be familiar with. So with that being said, I'm going to pull something up here. Again, don't worry about here looking at notes. It's everything that you're going to be learning this week is still tabs, but there's a couple symbols you need to be familiar with. The first one, if you're looking at these 16th notes here, there are also times where you'll see something like this, and they're very small notes, and in the tab you'll see it because the numbers are smaller, right? 3 4 3, whatever. And all that is, it's a hammer-on pull-off. It's just really quick legato, right? They're grace notes, but they just happen really fast. Okay, so when you see that, that's what's going on there. The other symbols, now hopefully you're familiar with these. These are just your up pick and your down pick. This is really your alternate picking, and it's all over the place in the tab because this is a faster piece, and I want to make certain that everyone has the best ability or the best chance to be successful at playing this. Now, when I was putting this together, excuse me, when I was putting this together, this was the picking pattern that I kind of came up with that really lends itself to the smoothest transitions because there is a lot of string skipping. There's a lot going on in this piece. So you'll see these upward and downward picking throughout this piece. And again, if you're not familiar with your alternate picking, you definitely want to do some practice with that so you don't get frustrated with this piece. But again, it's a great piece to practice with on that one because it's a cool piece. And the only other thing that I want to point out here is this other, this kind of like sideways V sort of thing. And what this is saying is usually this is longer, right? So it's saying, hey, play louder, 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 whatever. And then there's a whole bunch of MF and FF and a whole bunch of text to really kind of solidify this. And I've taken all of that out. So you're really just looking at tab. But what this, you'll hear it in the piece when you hit this, and it's a short, it's a short little V. It increases the volume that you're playing at, and it kind of stays at that volume for the rest of the piece. That's pretty much the only thing. Again, the primary things to look at are the upward and downward picks or picking for your alternate picking. But with all that being said, without any further delay, let's go ahead and jump right into the piece.